All right, so this is the game of the week, and pretty awesome that maybe the game of the season comes with the absolute last game of the year. Minnesota on the road at Detroit, not only for the division, but for the number 1 seed in the NFC as well. Just absolute craziness here that we get this on Sunday Night Football. It is 2.5 to 3 in favor of Detroit. 56 to 56.5 is our total. We saw this thing just race, Mo, whenever this thing launched. Everybody betting the over. Finally got some resistance, I think about 57.5 or something like that, 58 something, and then now back down to 56 at some spots out there. Those 2.5s that I mentioned are juiced, so likely to be 3 Detroit, at least at every book at some point, and looks like we'll get some buyback here and there along the way. Since it is kind of our last regular season one here, just a tip of the cap to Minnesota and what they've been able to accomplish this year. Double your win total. Sam Darnold, resurrect this career. This coaching staff deserves all the flowers, everything that they're getting. Great job on both sides of the ball. And the consistency here, Mo, is the thing that, like, I went back and looked, and it's like, we saw there was a time in the season in the first 6 weeks where the Bears were like literally the number 1 defense in the NFL. And then you watch, and then from like weeks 8 to 10, they start falling. And then from 10 to 12, it's even worse. And then 12 to whatever, they're literally like a bottom 5 defense in all of the NFL. Minnesota's offense and Minnesota's defense has consistently stayed inside the top 8 in nearly every single category the entire season long. Like, they have been so incredibly consistent on both sides of the ball. And the Detroit, we asked this on this podcast a month ago. When were the defensive injuries going to kind of show up for Detroit? When might we see? I think there's been a little bit of cracks in that defense here over the last couple of weeks. I know it was garbage time, but Caleb Williams went for 300 yards against him and all that stuff. So I played the full field goal with Minnesota. It's fine. Call me a fish here, call me a square, call me whatever, but I believe in this team. I believe in that defense. I believe in that offense. And I think this Detroit defense finally might kind of meet its match here with what Darnold never able to do with Jefferson and Addison.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything you're saying, unfortunately. I feel like I'm kind of holding the bag on Lions division, which I shouldn't, because I have plus 130 on a minus right now.
Yeah.
But I don't feel good about it. I think the Vikings are the better team at this point. I bet the Vikings last time these two teams played. Yeah. I thought them getting plus at home was crazy. That turned out to be basically a flip, so whatever. I just feel like with the injuries Detroit has taken, I feel like the Vikings are the better team now. But that's the side I would take. But like I said, I have my Detroit future, so I'm just rolling with that and hoping the market is right. I don't feel like it is, though. Now, there's one thing I'm going to say that is very much in the Lions' favor here, and that is Ben Johnson and Jared Goff do seem to have Brian Flores' number. They have done very well against him. So that is the big thing that gives me pause here. But just the Jimmies and Joes, I think, are better at this point for the Vikings. And a play I did make here, I mean, you kind of hinted at it. I got a good number on the under. I got 57. Yeah. That seemed crazy to me. I know that these offenses are great and these defenses are beatable. They're not complete pushovers, okay? The Vikings still have a very good defense overall. And the Lions, I know every Lions game has basically been a circus. And first half last week was completely ridiculous with the Niners getting 12 yards a snap or whatever was going on there. But this is the game. Like you said, everybody is dialed in. This defense at home is going to come to play. Both teams love to run the ball when they have the lead. We saw that with the Vikings last week where they kind of almost pissed that game away.
Yeah. I think given truth serum and you ask Kevin O'Connell, he'd be like, we should have done that a little differently. Like, yeah.
I think these teams are still going to just like pound the rock a lot and have it work. Both of these teams are going to be burning the clock because they both are capable of running the ball. I know that there's a massive mismatch on the edge with the Vikings receivers against these Lions DBs. Obviously, that's a concern. But I think there's enough defensive juice in this game that they can keep it under 60. I know that sounds ridiculous with how these Detroit final scores keep coming in every week. But the bigger the spot, the tighter the offenses tend to get. And the market already moved with me a bit. Yeah. I think I'd still play under 56, man. It's so high.
It really is. And, just because you have success through the air doesn't necessarily mean that that's always going to equal points or whatever and stuff. Like, I just think that with Minnesota and Darnold and Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson, now that he's been back a month, is starting to be a little bit more part of this offense and stuff like that. Like, you look, it was this attrition for the Lions defense and so now you look at these last 3 games, 360 plus given up through the air to Josh Allen, 330 plus given up through the air to Caleb Williams, 370 plus given up through the air to Brock Purdy. And I understand that some of those games were guys in chase mode, but like, you don't want to hand out 370 passing. You don't want to hand out 330 passing yards. I mean, like there is a little bit of something going on there over the last month of the season with this Detroit team, rightfully so. I mean, like, it's just hell. They're running out a whole bunch of backups, right? I mean, it's very tough to play at as high a level as they were over the course of the entire season. So I have a lot of Detroit futures as well. I think Minnesota's the side here. I mean, it sucks to say. It's just, I think Minnesota's the side. I actually think at a field goal, it is actually a very appealing bet to me.
Yeah, I could see that as a hedge if you are in the same boat as us. I'm just hoping the market is right and Detroit is the side, but I think the Vikings are a better team at this point, and this line should probably be close to even to me. So if you are getting the Vikings at plus, I think it's a good bet, man.
I do too. I really do. And I'll tell you this, if for whatever reason we see people on the last game of the year and it's their last time to bet and they come in and just start flooding money in on Detroit, and if this gets on the other side of 3, holy shit. Like, I am not going to be able at that point to stay away, and I'll try to thread the needle, and see if I can't double dip there on that one for sure. But awesome game. Absolutely best game of the year for the last game of the year. So awesome that we get that here in this season. Guys, everything we do, absolutely free. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments section how you are playing any of this really tough Week 18. Lots and lots of big spreads, lots and lots of motivational stuff going on, and certainly some stuff that could affect as the way the games play out throughout the course of the day. So do your best. Don't go nuts here this week, and head over to the Discord, absolutely free as well, upper right-hand corner of thelions.com, and everybody else in there is talking about this week, so see if they give you any insight as well. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here throughout the course of the playoffs all the way through the Super Bowl as well. Hopefully won you some bets here over the last half of the season. Been pretty good here on the pod, so hopefully we continue this all the way through the Super Bowl. For Mo, I am Matt. Good luck on all your Week 18 bets.